Jai Jinendra guys and Jai Siddhatma. This is me, Samayasar Jain. I just wanted to make this video today, and this is basically my message for all my dear Jain brothers and sisters. I want to make this video, please do share this video as much as possible, especially among the Jains. And right now here in this video itself, I will be making this video. I'll try to keep it short, but I will just make this video in both English and in Hindi. So first I will say in English, then whatever I said in English, I'll just repeat in Hindi as well, because many people they have been telling me please make more videos in Hindi, because lot of people in India do watch my videos. Some of them they may have little bit problem with English, so they told me समय सर प्लीज़ कुछ वीडियोस को हिंदी में भी बनाओ, तो मैंने बोला कि हाँ ठीक है, ज़रूर बनाऊंगा. Well, coming straight to the point, the reason why I'm making this video is, see, nothing serious, just this incident happened today in this Jain Mandir here in Bangalore. This is what I personally experienced, so I just thought that I will just share it with all of you. So just to give a name for this video, as you can see, it is every Jain should be open-minded. Okay, Jainism promotes open-mindedness, anekantavada. So every Jain should be open-minded. Any person who is not open-minded cannot be called as a true Jain. Okay. So now, why am I telling this? I'll come straight to the point now. As usual, as you all know, I'm here for a 10 days holiday with my family. So in the morning, I'd been to the temple, which is Sambhavnath Bhagwan Digambar Jain Mandir here in Bangalore itself. So in the temple, normally in the morning I go to see the Abhishek, and after that after watching the Abhishek, I normally sit down and write my Namokaar Mahamantras until the temple is open. So today I was doing the same. In the morning I went, and after today by the time I went, in fact they had completed the Abhishek, and they had completed the puja. So my mother sat down there to do her puja by herself. She had bought all the books from the shelf, and she had started doing her puja. And me, as usual, I sat down on there were even tables and chairs where we could sit and read or write whatever we want. So inside the temple itself, so I sat down there, and I started writing my Namokaar Mahamantras. And as I was writing my Namokaar Mahamantras, see, this is common. Lot of people they come and ask me, okay, what am I writing? Then I say Namokaar Mahamantras, and then they say, oh wow, bahut badhiya hai, very good, it's great, it's wonderful. So yeah, that's all fine. See, people coming and asking me what am I writing, it is not the first time it has happened. But the reason why I want to what I'm telling you in this video is, today while I was writing Namokaar Mahamantras, as usual, she is also another Jain. Okay, one lady actually came to me, one lady approached me while I was writing the Namokaar Mahamantras, and then first she stared at my book for some time. Then she asked me, "Aap kya likh rahe ho? What are you writing?" Then I told Namokaar Mahamantras. She told, "Oh, you're writing Namokaar Mahamantras. Okay." And even after I told that, even after I told her that I was writing Namokaar Mahamantras, she continued to stare at my book with some kind of surprise in her face. Maybe like, maybe like she could not understand what am I writing, because like, I normally write Namokaar Mahamantras in English. Okay, that Namo Arahantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namokaar Mahamantras I write in English. So then like, that after I noticed that she is like staring at my book, even after I noticed that she's staring at my book, even after I told her that I'm writing Namokaar Mahamantras, then finally I only told her, see, I'm writing Namokaar Mahamantras in English. I told her, see, all the conversations we had was in Hindi, but I'll just tell you in English right now. So I just told her that, see, I'm writing Namokaar Mahamantras in English. The moment I said that I'm writing Namokaar Mahamantras in English, she started telling that, oh, no, you cannot do that. You should write Namokaar Mahamantras in Hindi. And she told that, she was telling that, you should write Namokaar Mahamantras only in Hindi, or if not Hindi, the best you should write in Prakrit. According to her, okay, see, according to this lady, what she told me that, you should write Namokaar Mahamantras only in Prakrit or in Hindi and not in any other language, not even in English. Then, in fact, guys, if you remember, I had made one of my previous videos, in which language should we write Namokaar Mahamantras. And I've told you clearly that, see, Namokaar Mahamantras, irrespective to in which language you write, Namokaar Mahamantras will give you benefits, and Namokaar Mahamantras are Namokaar Mahamantras. It is absolutely, it completely doesn't matter in which language you write Namokaar Mahamantras. And in fact, this was not the first incident. I had like experienced I had experienced the same thing like this even in Mumbai as well. One lady came and told me that you should write Namokaar Mahamantras only in Hindi, not in English. But then in Mumbai, that lady, when I corrected her, when I told her that no ma'am, it is not like that. See, Namokaar Mahamantras are universal mantras, and you can write it in any language, it doesn't matter. So in Mumbai, when I corrected that lady was very humble and respectful. She told, oh, I see, okay. So what I'm trying to tell you is, in Mumbai, when this incident happened, that lady, she understood. When I corrected her, she actually understood her mistake, and to my surprise, she actually corrected herself. But this lady today here in Bangalore, I mean, see, I don't know from where was that lady from which state and all, but of course, like, see, but we are here in Bangalore right now. So, but with this lady in Bangalore, when she told me, no, you cannot write in English, you should write it only in Hindi. And that when I tried to correct her, don't mind me saying this with all due respect, okay? When I tried to correct her, she started saying like, no, you should write only in Hindi and Prakrit, you cannot write in English, you cannot write in English. She very intensely started to tell me that that I should like completely avoid using English and only stick to Hindi and Prakrit while writing Namokaar Mahamantras. And one more thing, she was doing it in a very arrogant way, to be honest and frank with all of you. She started saying this in a very in a very intensely and in a very arrogant way. See, first of all, I'm just sitting there writing Namokaar Mahamantras. She's another person just like me who came to the temple to do puja and to do her and to do her prayers and meditation, whatever. So she from her side, she approached me, she came to me, asked me what am I writing, and when she got to know that I'm writing Namokaar Mahamantras in English, she she started to very arrogantly say that no, you cannot write in English, you should write it only in Hindi and Prakrit. So Then like I was polite itself. I maintained my calm. I was polite, and I told her, "देखिए ma'am, madam, please see here. Jainism promotes open-mindedness, not narrow-mindedness. जैन धर्म अनेकांतवाद का धर्म है, एकांतवाद का धर्म नहीं है." I clearly explained it to her that irrespective to in whichever language you write Namokaar Mahamantras, Namokaar Mahamantras are Namokaar Mahamantras, and it will give you amazing benefits. One more thing guys, before I proceed with this, I just want to tell you, you need to understand what is the science behind Namokaar Mahamantras. All of you might be wondering, okay, when we say Namokaar Mahamantras, okay, we all know its spiritual benefits, but actually what is the science behind, everything has got a scientific reason behind it as well. So when it comes to Namokaar Mahamantras, what is the scientific reason, and what is the science behind the power of Namokaar Mahamantras? All of you should know this. And the science of Namokaar Mahamantras is the sound. The sound of the Namokaar Mahamantras is the power of Namokaar Mahamantras in terms of science. See, even this is a fact. Sound can have an impact on our body. If you listen to some unpleasant sound, to be very honest, sometimes for a very long time, if you listen to any unpleasant sound, if there is too much of noise pollution, it can affect your health very to a great extent. To a very great extent, your health can be affected, or your health can be impacted due to unpleasant sounds and noise pollutions. On the other hand, if you listen to lot of nice music, pleasant sounds, pleasant music, and very soul healing music. Basically, if you listen to lot of pleasant music and sounds, it will have a positive impact on your physical health as well. It will have a positive impact on your physical health as well. So the science of Namokaar Mahamantras is that when you say Namo Arahantanam, the sound itself, the sound of Namo, the sound of Arahantanam, Namo Arahantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Airiyanam, Namo Uvajjayanam, Namo Loye Savasahunam. When you say this, the sound of the Namokaar Mahamantras is what will have a healing impact on your body. Like that the sound of Namokaar Mahamantras can heal you if you are sick. And let's say if there is a diseased person, by listening to Namokaar Mahamantras, for non-stop, let's say non-stop for a few hours, or let's say for a number of days non-stop, even a very severely diseased person will be cured. Any disease will be healed away completely. If you are suffering from any disease, by listening to the sound of Namokaar Mahamantras, your disease will vanish. You will be completely cured just by the sound of Namokaar Mahamantras. So this is the science behind Namokaar Mahamantras. So now why am I telling this? Now focusing back on today's incident, okay? Focusing back on today's point. Those Jains who think that we should write Namokaar Mahamantras only in Hindi and in Prakrit and not in any other languages, let me tell you, whether you write Namokaar Mahamantras in Hindi, whether you write it in English, whether you write it in Prakrit, whether you write it in Sanskrit, and even if you write it in Tamil, Malayalam, or even if you write it in Japanese language, or even in that Cantonese, the language which they speak in Hong Kong, Cantonese. In any of the languages around the world, if you write Namokaar Mahamantras, when you read the Namokaar Mahamantras, how will you read them? You will read them as when you read Namokaar Mahamantras let's say Namokaar Mahamantras are written down in different languages. When you read those when you read those different languages, how do you think Namokaar Mahamantras will sound? It will sound just the same. See, even in English, if it is written, let's say Namokaar Mahamantras are written in English, you will read it as same. Namo Arahantanam, Namo Siddhanam. Even if it is written in Hindi, you will read it as Namo Arahantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Airyanam, Namo Vajjayanam, Namo Loye Savasahunam. Right? And even if it is written in Kannada, still you will read it as Namo Arahantanam, Namo Siddhanam. Even if it is written in Tamil or Malayalam or Telugu, or that language which they speak in Orissa, Odia, even if it is written in Odia language, you will still read it as Namo Arahantanam, Namo Siddhanam. Even if it is written in Bengali language, you will still read it as Namo Arahantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Airyanam. Right? So what I am trying to tell you, irrespective to in which language Namokaar Mahamantras are written, when people read them in different languages, Namokaar Mahamantras will be Namokaar Mahamantras and it will sound the same. So what I am trying to tell you is, since the science behind the Namokaar Mahamantras is that, the sound of the Namokaar Mahamantras is what actually heals our body from, is what actually heals our body from different ailments and from different diseases and sickness. And basically, speaking scientifically, the sound of Namokaar Mahamantras is what positively impacts our physical health. Okay, just the sound. So irrespective to in which language Namokaar Mahamantras are written, when you read them, you will get amazing benefits. And one more thing, guys, this only I am not saying. Even Jain sadhus have told this. Jain Matajis, Jain Sadhvis, Jain monks, Jain sadhus from both Digambar and Shwetambar sect, both Jain sadhus have said this. It doesn't matter in which language you write Namokaar Mahamantras. Namokaar Mahamantras are Namokaar Mahamantras, and irrespective to in which language you write them, it is equally beneficial for you and it will give you equal benefits. So language does not matter for Namokaar Mahamantras at all. Namokaar Mahamantras are the most profound mantras in the entire universe, not just the world, in the entire universe and multiverse. It has nothing to do with caste, creed, religion, race, or nationality. And the best part, it has nothing to do even with languages, because ultimately, no matter in whichever language you write Namokaar Mahamantras, when you read Namokaar Mahamantras will sound just the same. Namo Arahantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Airyanam, Namo Vajjayanam, and Namo Loye Savasahunam. So my message to these Jains, not all the Jains, but certain Jains around the world who think that Namokaar Mahamantras should be written only in Hindi or in Prakrit. My dear, this is not true. Let me tell you, you are completely mistaken. See, Namokaar Mahamantras will give you amazing benefits even if you write it in Hindi, Prakrit, English, French, German, Mandarin, whatever it is. So what I am trying to tell you is, and one more thing, all my dear non-Jains, okay, to all my dear non-Jain friends and subscribers, I want to tell you, if any Jain person, he or she, comes and tells you that you should write Namokaar Mahamantras only in Hindi or Prakrit, let me tell you, please do not believe that person. That person is misguiding you, or maybe that person is himself misguided, and whatever he or she has been misguided, they are like trying to promote that to you. So to all my dear non-Jain friends, brothers and sisters, okay, around the world, any Jain who comes and tells you that Namokaar Mahamantras should be written only in Hindi or only in Hindi or Prakrit, let me tell you that that person is completely mistaken, and I will say that person is a Mithya Drishti Jain. Okay, that person is a Mithya Drishti Jain. Mithya Drishti means wrong informed. I will not say ill informed. I'll just say wrong informed or misinformed. Okay, that Jain is a misinformed Jain. So coming back to today's, so when this lady came up to me and told me, and even like while she was talking, like literally, like she was like very arrogant. I mean, of course, like because it was a Jain temple, she actually kept her voice little bit down, and to which I totally appreciate her for that. Some people, like, they won't even care. Even inside the temple, they will start shouting loudly, "Hey, kya kar rahe ho? Hey, 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 hey," like all these things. But this lady, this particular lady, she actually kept her voice as low as possible, to which I totally appreciate her and to which I totally salute her. But even while keeping her voice down, the way she put forward her point of view, literally, like, she sounded very, very arrogant and impolite. Basically, what I understood by her, this lady, she is completely anything which is not Hindi, any language which is not Hindi and not Prakrit, and any culture other than Indian culture, she thinks that all those are good for nothing. Only ours is best and everything. See, in India, not only Jain culture, generally speaking about Indian culture, when we say Namaste, what does it mean? It means that, I bow to the divine soul which is in you. So in India, that we say, सबका विकास, हर धर्म से विकास होते हैं. So what does this mean? So it means that all the paths leads to all the different paths leads to God, or leads to Brahman. Okay, leads to the universal God. So another thing is, both in Indian culture, especially in Jain culture, our belief is that we are not above or below anyone. We all are equal. Okay, like in some other cultures they may say, okay, that we are superior, all others are low. Indian culture is not like that, and especially Jain culture is not like that. Indian culture and Jain culture completely says unity in diversity. Unity in diversity. Anekantavada. Complete open-mindedness. Unity in diversity. So, no culture is above any culture, and no culture is below any culture. And same with the languages. No language is above or below any other language. A language is a language. And Namokaar Mahamantras, being the eternal supreme mantras of the entire universe and multiverse, it completely doesn't matter in which language you write Namokaar Mahamantras. Because end of the day, in whichever language you have written down Namokaar Mahamantras, when we read the Namokaar Mahamantras, it will sound just the same. It will sound just the same, no matter in whichever language you have written it down. You may have written down Namokaar Mahamantras in hundreds and thousands of different languages. Okay? One last time I'm telling you, you may have written down Namokaar Mahamantras in hundreds and thousands of different languages. But guess what? Even let's say you have written down Namokaar Mahamantras in 10,000 different languages. But guess what? When you read it, all when you read the Namokaar Mahamantras, out of all the 10,000 different languages in which Namokaar Mahamantras have been written, the sound of Namokaar Mahamantras remains the same, which is Namo Arahantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Airiyanam, Namo Uvajjayanam, and Namo Loye Savasahunam. So, what I'm trying to tell you is, every Jain, not only in India but around the world, okay, no matter whether it is a he or a she, no matter what job or what business they are doing, no matter in which high position that person is, no matter which high position that person holds in in the world and in the society, if that Jain person thinks that Namokaar Mahamantras should be written down only in Hindi and in Prakrit, let me tell you, that Jain person is completely misinformed about the truth. So what I'm trying to tell you is, see, you can write Namokaar Mahamantras in any languages. I also mentioned to this lady who came up to me, I also mentioned to her, see, one more thing, from my childhood, I was raised abroad, okay? I was raised abroad in Indonesia and Singapore. So basically I was raised abroad, and therefore for me, I'm more comfortable in English, okay? I'm more comfortable in English as compared to Hindi and any other languages in the world. I told her this also. Even after I said this, she started saying, no, doesn't matter. Still, you should write it only in Hindi or best only in Prakrit. You cannot, she was saying that, she was saying as a Jain, I should not use English at all. I was like, what kind of a mentality is this? I mean, is this I don't know, is this her personal thinking, or is this how she has been raised from her childhood? I don't know. But I was literally shocked and kind of disappointed. I was shocked and kind of disappointed. I mean, being a Jain, how can this lady be so narrow-minded? So what do you say? How can she have such a cheap mentality? It really I was like, though I was speaking to her, I was in a complete shock. Being a Jain, how can she have these kind of thoughts? And the way she was trying to degrade the other cultures. Other cultures means that other Western culture or whatever it is. The way she tried to degrade the other cultures and other languages, I was really as a Jain, I felt kind of disgusted. I was like, what kind of a Jain person is this? How can she say these things? So in the end, before she left, I told her clearly. I told her, ma'am, देखिए, I'm very sorry. सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम जो है ना, वो लैंग्वेज में नहीं, आपका ये सोच पे. I told her directly on her face, the problem is not in the language. There is nothing wrong if you write Namokaar Mahamantras in there is nothing wrong to write Namokaar Mahamantras in any language you want. And the only reason why I write in English is not because I consider English to be superior or whatever. It's just that I'm more comfortable writing in English as compared to Hindi and other languages. Therefore, I write Namokaar Mahamantras in English. That's it. Even after I explained this to her, even after I gave logical explanations to her, she was kind of very stubborn, arrogant, and that I just have no words to describe the level of arrogance she had, the level of ignorance and the level of arrogance she had in her. I just don't have words to describe. I was kind of getting angry also. But as I told you, it is a temple. I maintained my calm. And one more thing, she's a lady, and I respect ladies very much. So one second, guys. Just need to change the position of my leg. So sorry guys, I sat for a long time in one position and my legs started to pain. Yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you is, after finally I started to lose my patience, but very politely in the end I told her, ma'am, I'm very sorry. The problem is not in the languages. The problem is not in any culture. The problem is in your thoughts. I told her in Hindi, okay, now I tell you in Hindi. वो लेडी जिसने मुझे बताया कि मुझे नमोकार महामंत्रास को सिर्फ हिंदी में लिखना है, इंग्लिश में नहीं, मैंने उनको कहा कि देखिए मैम, जो सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, जो सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत है, वो लैंग्वेज में नहीं, वो भाषा में नहीं, वो आपकी सोच में है. I told her this, and when I told her this, then that I could see she was little bit upset, but I'm sorry, I had to tell her the facts. I mean, for how long, for how much time, and for how long can we tolerate narrow-mindedness and all these what do you say, orthodox way of thinking? For how long? As time goes by, we need to evolve. We need to evolve with time. We need to evolve ourselves and change ourselves according to time. Life is about changing and progressing. If you don't evolve, you can't progress in life. So this is what I explained to that lady in Hindi. Okay, I told her, अगर आप एक सच्चे जैन हो तो आज से आपका ये घटिया विचार को बदलो. आज से आपका ये घटिया विचार को बदलो. I told her this, and yes, she felt upset, but I had to tell her this. So after I told her this, then I told her, I'm very sorry ma'am, but this is the fact. The problem is not with any culture or any language. The problem is in your thoughts. I told her this, and I explained it to her very clearly. I made my point clear, and with facts, I gave it to her nicely, with facts. Just by using my words in a very polite way, with facts, I told her nicely, ma'am, this is what the fact is. Please change your mindset. And I told her, Jainism is a religion of open-mindedness. मैंने उनको बताया, जैन धर्म अनेकांतवाद का धर्म है, एकांतवाद का धर्म नहीं है. And after that, then finally she left, and I continued to write my Namokaar Mahamantras. I sometimes wonder, okay, she was one, this has not happened to me anytime before. And in Mumbai, even in Mumbai, when this lady actually came and told like this to me, when I corrected her on the spot, she actually understood and corrected herself, fortunately, in Mumbai. Here in Bangalore, after I met this lady, after knowing the way she thinks, after knowing her thought process as a Jain, I really wonder sometimes, how many Jains are there? How many Jains are there who have this mentality in them? Jainism is always about evolving, exploring and being open-minded. That is why, see, even me as a Jain, me as a proud Jain, I've told this in many of my other videos as well, I'm telling you again. Me as a Jain, I'm probably the only Jain in the entire world, okay? I mean, see, definitely there may be other Jains as well, but as per the best of my knowledge, I'm definitely, I won't say definitely, possibly or probably, I'm the only Jain in the entire world, and probably the only Jain even in India. Whenever I talk about Jainism, I'm the only one in India and in the entire world, the only Jain who says Anekantavada Paramo Dharma. Because generally most of the other Jains, they will say Ahimsa Paramo Dharma, Ahimsa Paramo Dharma. I will say Anekantavada Paramo Dharma. Unless you are open-minded, unless you are open to different possibilities, you cannot practice Ahimsa properly as well. See, if you don't take Anekantavada seriously, in Jainism they also say not only physical violence, you should not even do Bhava Himsa. You should not have hatred in your heart. So those people who don't practice Anekantavada, they will have hate for they will have hate for all the other languages and cultures just because it is not their language and their culture. And if you don't know the importance of Anekantavada, you cannot be a true Jain, and even you cannot practice Ahimsa through Bhava. Through your emotions, if you have to practice Ahimsa, first thing, you should learn the importance of Anekantavada. So, to all the Jains who are like, who are like this, what can I say, this hardcore, very hardcore and very extreme mentality. Only Hindi, only Prakrit, no other languages, no other culture. All those people who have this kind of thinking, and all those people who look down upon other cultures, man, I only have one word to tell them. They are called Pakhandi Jains. In Hindi, there is a word called Pakhandi, fraud or fake. So any Jain who has got a very rigid and very one-sided mentality, that person, I will say he or she is a Pakhandi Jain, okay? Pakhandi Jain. So please be open-minded Jains, please be liberal Jains, please be progressive Jains, and please don't be Pakhandi Jains, okay? Be a true Jain, be an open-minded Jain, be a pluralistic Jain, be an exploring Jain, be a multicultural Jain, be multicultural, and respect and embrace all cultures, traditions, customs, even Western culture as well. Respect every culture, tradition and custom, and respect every language around the world. That will make you a true Jain. So any Jain who has got a very strong one-sided mentality, I will personally call that Jain as a Pakhandi Jain. And please, you should not be those kind of Pakhandi Jains. I hope I've made my point clear. So I will just end this video and I will just repeat once in Hindi. नमोकार महामंत्र को आप किसी भी भाषा में लिख सकते हो, ठीक है? नमोकार महामंत्र को या फिर नवकर महामंत्रास को आप किसी भी भाषा में लिख सकते हो. वो आपको बराबर के फल देगा, बराबर के बेनिफिट्स देगा और आपका आत्मा का कल्याण भी होगा। तो भाषा मैटर नहीं करता है, मैटर करता है कि आप नमोकार महामंत्रास को लिख रहे हो और पूरे श्रद्धा से, विथ फुल ट्रस्ट एंड डिवोशन एंड डेडिकेशन, you are writing Namokaar Mahamantras. That is all which matters. It's not the language. Thank you. Jai Jinendra, Jai Siddhatma, and to all my dear Jain brothers and sisters, in case I've hurt your feelings, please, Michhami Dukdam, but I had to tell the facts. So regarding open-mindedness, I will make more videos, but this video I will just end right over here. Thank you guys. Namo Arahantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Airyanam, Namo Vajjayanam, Namo Loye Savasahunam, Eso Panchanamukaro Sava Pavappana Sano Mangalanam Savvesim Padamam Havai Mangalam. Namokaar Mahamantra ki Jai.